Pow Wow, yo, yippee, yay, guys. Pound number 40, and I am super excited to be with you guys. As always, we're going to dive into the love of the community, then talk about what's happening on SwissBorg Network. And in this special episode, we're going to talk about the thematics. We're talking about new token launched. There are a lot of different surprises. Talk about a new way to earn through DeFi with HedgeFarm. And of course, talk about our CHSB token, because there's so much future brightness to this. So I'm very, very excited for this episode. As you guys know, my name is Cyrus Fazel. I'm the proud founder and CEO of SwissBorg, always here to serve you. So just first, question of the week. And this was regarding essentially the airdrop regarding Ethereum proof of work. As you guys know, when the merge happened, there were some distributions of some Ethereum proof of work. Unfortunately, though, when we got those Ethereum, the price of the value of Ethereum work just fell down and down and down and down and down. So I think what the team has agreed on is that everyone that was taking at an ETH in the platform would be receiving 15 CHSB. Or 14.5 CHSB, I think so, for those who are not in the yield. So essentially, people will be earning some CHSB. This goes to a small amount of people. It's only 15. The good thing is that the merge did happen very well. The good thing is that Ethereum proof of work is not doing that well either, and the plan is getting cleaner. So OB, thanks for the questions. You'll get airdropped a 14.5 CHSB per Ethereum that you had staked within SwissBorg ecosystem. Community Member of the Week, the leaderboard on Cre3. All of these guys are legend. Thank you very much to all of you guys. From Glavin Dennis, Awesome, Russell, Luca, Evas, Stomach, Nico Bell, Julianas, Crypto Jazz, Diober, and Marco Crypto. All of you guys have done a very big amount, over 50 quests. You guys are really, really great rock stars. You're people that are here during the good times and in the more tricky times. I really, really, really want to thank all of you guys. Top 10. I know there's much more people to thank, but it's really good to have this loyalty during these times and just bringing those green lasers throughout the world. It makes me always smile. Talking about the community sentiment of the week, big shout out as well to Monsieur Seguin. He did not bring the sheep. Pour les francophones, vous avez compris la blague. Je sais pas si c'était drôle ou pas. For those, it doesn't matter. It's not a very funny joke. But Charles is bringing the bull to the beautiful SwissBorg. I love very much how he did this new t-shirt, which was really cool. Actually, it's, how do you say gilet? One that's probably actually with a zip on it, like a sweatshirt with a zip on it. I wish I could get one, Charles. If you drop me one, I'll be super happy. Wear it at any powwow for sure. So thank you very, very much for this, Charles. You're a true warrior for this. Big love to you. If you guys want to meet us in real, essentially, we are doing a lot of different things tonight, just before this powwow, so now it's a bit late. The HedgeFarm Smart Talk is about to happen. Besides that, the Thematics is going to happen. That already happened, I think so. That can't be on the 12th. I think so. There's another Thematics happening this week. The community French is going to happen next week in the Valais, thanks to Crypto Phil, which is really good. The community fundraise is going to happen as well in Lausanne in our HQ as well. And we're going to do more and more different cool stuff that are going to happen from, I think so, end of December, pretty much mid-December. Talk about all the different layers that we're building at SwissBorg. I don't want to talk too much about it, but there's 7 beautiful layers. You already know 4 of them, which is payment spending, automation with a smart engine and trading. Layer 3 is all about the earn. The 4 is the thematics, and there's 3 more to talk about. So as always, guys, join us on SwissBorg Discord channel. There's a lot of things happening there. Much love to that. New listing, very exciting time. So you have to make a guess. There's actually giving you a quests. The quest is gonna happen tonight, I think so, at midnight. It's a swap platform. It's a governance token. It has NFTs and lands. It has card gains. And they're building more and more different things around it. Which token is this? So try to figure this out and you'll be able to essentially get a lot of points. Announcement of the week, Lido is about to be listed and we're very excited about that. Let's get right into what is Lido. Lido has been one of the rising star, I would say, in the past year. Essentially what they're doing is that they're bringing liquidity for staked assets. So this is something that's very, very interesting. Is essentially to have a token swap that enables you to get a yield without actually doing the whole staking yourself. And as you guys could see, this company has really massively grew to 6 billion of total assets, already be paid $209 million, 200,000 stakers, which many of them actually are big institutional stakers. They have Ethereum, there's Solana, Polygon, Polkadot, Kusama. There's been doing that for some time, and they're working with a lot of essentially growing ecosystem. So their token is a governance token. What it is, it's definitely one that has really grown a lot. If you go on CoinMarketCap, we could really see that this token, Lido, has done quite a phenomenal job in such a short time. There you go, Leo stake. There's a stake ETH in the Leo DAO. And essentially, yeah, it's ranked right now number 74. If we look at all-time high, it went up to $6. Today it's trading at 50% of that, I think so, roughly. So no, even, wow, actually $1.50 from total high. So it's definitely a token to look at. If you look at the activity in the DAO, there's different things that are happening. So looking at Lido in terms of governance and its token itself, there's different ways that Lido has essentially powered their network. One is actually done through Aragon. Aragon, if you guys remember, was one of the essentially token that enabled really to build oracles around governance. And you see here that there's different validators that could propose different things because there's a lot of different nodes that work essentially with Lido. That's why there's so much big amount of assets, right? And there's some proposals that could happen through these different ways. They as well put in place a good platform with Snapshot. Snapshot, as you guys know, is different ways where people could essentially push past initiatives and then potentially vote and get them through. So there's a lot of different things on the decentralized side. For now, though, a lot of that what's happening on Lido is quite centralized, just to make things clear. And though it's a very good token, and we'll have more and more use cases, as we strongly believe. And SwissBorg has been working closely with his team as well to see how essentially SwissBorg and his community could benefit from it. So a great token to have, a great token to trade as well, a great token that is traded right now at a discounted price. So please do your own research. Enjoy Lido on SwissBorg app today. Thematics, guys, the layer 4, the layer that will enable to get to mass adoption, where SwissBorg could really bring its technology to create these amazing bundles of products, these basket of tokens that you fully own, and that could be a real layer to bring SwissBorg to the next, essentially, step into wealth management. This has been really done with meticulous work for the last 4 years, studying how to do this on a technically wise, but as well financially wise. We've been really trying to think how to bring a vision to a product and to build the future of wealth. And I think so. This is a massive landmark for SwissBorg, for you guys. So far, this has been released to a few Pegasus people, to a few Genesis people, and as well to people that essentially earn during the tournaments, the earning tournament, right? Few influencers as well that are actually testing it as we speak. I strongly believe and convince that this is going to be one of the best plays that SwissBorg is ever going to have. Because not only no one has this, but essentially ETFs have changed the world of investing in stocks for retail and institutional. And this is exactly the same thing, but in a better way, because you actually own those tokens and will do more and more things how to essentially build your wealth with this. So Some people are very good like trading. And if you're a good trader, there's a very strong possibility that you're going to get to buy and sell a lot of different tokens, right? And some of those tokens you will keep for long term, and some of them you go in and out. And I think that's a great strategy, by the way. Like I have, for example, 3, 4, 5, 6 tokens that I just buy and keep and yield. And then I have other tokens that I love trading. I just love trading because it's fun to trade. It's fun to trade sometimes my Bitcoin, it's fun to trade my Ethereum, and sometimes it's good to trade other different tokens because it's quite a volatile market. And not only you capture some great wealth in it, but it's a fun thing. People could like doing it. And of course, sometimes you're right and sometimes you're wrong. But if you're more right than wrong in your P&L, at the end, you'll be doing very well. For those, it's quite difficult to trade and don't have that doesn't feel really fun to do so. Well, I strongly believe that only picking few bets will be great, but you'll be missing so many others. And I think so this is exactly the reason why we said, okay, let's go for the first thematic that actually don't have these different cryptos on SwissBorg and enable to capture the future wealth in Web3. We really looked at this great thematic and say, what are going to be the best blockchains of tomorrow, layer 0, 1, 2? And there's a lot of those tokens. And we're doing a massive due diligence on multiple different levels, trying to really see what's the future of this thematic. And by doing so, we compiled 13 wonderful tokens to say, okay, these guys are really good for, like Ethereum is very good to Web3 in general, all the applications. Then Polygon really going strong on gaming. Let's put these guys, right? Polkadot doing really a lot of things with digital identities, with DEOs and whatsoever, those guys. And then Neo, and all of these guys have a very strong, big plane to Web3. Secret, really good to anonymize certain amounts of data to make sure you'll have privacy going forward. So you see a lot of these guys have a very strong use case in Web3. And this is the beauty is that we put them all together for you. And what that does is that not only gives you exposure and own these different tokens, is that it makes sure that you're not going to miss any of it. So when I break down my portfolio today, I have, of course, a very big amount of SwissBorg tokens, which I always keep, and I trade from time to time as well. I have my Bitcoins, I have my Ethereum, and I have a few other tokens that I keep on the long run. Then that's like 33%, maybe 40%. Then I have 20% or to 30% that essentially I trade, and that I just have fun time to time to trading, especially now when markets are really sideways. It's you have ups and downs that go. So they're like more carry trade that happens like on a frequency of 4 or 5 days. And then I have 30% of my wealth into the thematics. And the thing is that what that happens to do is that I have those 3 essentially baskets, roughly 1/3, 1/3, 1/3, that enables me to get my good balance. And of course, sorry, I always add 10, 20% of cash on that. So that's not really true. So what I have is 40% there in my favorite cryptos. Then I have 20% maybe that trades, so 60%. Then I have 20% in thematics. And then eventually, which I finished with 20%, sorry, in cash for future opportunities. That enables me to buy and trade a little bit more if I feel like it. So that's really how I break it out. But now let's think about how do we get CHSB a new strong use case. CHSB entering in a new era with the thematics. As you guys know, 10% of the CHSB is part of the thematics. And then going forward, we're probably going to do the same with most thematics, and probably even every thematics. Well, let's go now on a macro perspective. So zoom out a bit and try to understand how early we're in crypto and how you compare this essentially to the adoption, internet versus crypto. And it's something actually very similar. So if you think that crypto started like roughly in 2014, okay, and that the same happened to in the early 90s, the internet, we have had exponential growth. And the exponential growth actually is very, very, very comparable. It's very exciting to see that within the first 6 years of essentially internet, we went from a few million users to roughly 100 million users. And this is pretty much where we are today. A little bit more than 100 million, like maybe 150 million, 160 million if you're bullish in crypto, which is nothing. Today, we know that in internet, we have like 5 billion users, right? And what that shows, which is amazing, is that in the probably next few years, 2 to 3 years, we're going to get close to 1 billion users. That is 5 to 8 times more than today. So if you think about SwissBorg, and if we're not doing too great, like not doing better than the competitors or whatsoever, in the next 3 years, we're going to go from close to 1 million users to 5 to 6 million, 7 million, 8 million users without not too much efforts as we have had in the past, which has been a lot of organics thanks to you. So this is how we have to understand is that this market is not only very small and is still at its teenage, but it's just going to grow massively in the next years. And we're talking about 1 to 2 different, 3 different years. So now let's talk about essentially what is happening through the thematics, right? The thematics and CHSB. What we want as a CHSB is to always be part of the thematic. We want to bound the CHSB to the performance of the thematics and make sure that the token is part of these thematics, right? So by including the thematics in our layer 4 and making CHSB part of these very best thematics, it will only grow. So think about that easily, like today with Web3 thematics. If tomorrow we have, let's say, $2 billion assets in this thematics, that means there's a 200 million of CHSB value, CHSB dollars value in this thematics. And think about now having, let's say, 10 or 15 different thematics, and now we have $20 billion. And that $20 billion of assets, which is a very high dream and high goal, but everything is reachable if we put the right rights, right? 20 billion, you'll have a $2 billion pressure on the CHSB. And that is really great. And let's say, for example, if the CHSB is not performing well, each time essentially is being rebalanced, there's a buy pressure, right? And each time essentially the CHSB is performing too well, then there's a little sold, but it's not as important because essentially, CHSB will be only 10% that thematic. So there's a great correlation between the success of the thematics and as well the fact that the CHSB is part of them. And if you look even further than that, what I really like about the fact that we could put CHSB in all of these different thematics, it could be looked at the gas, it could be looked at the fuel, it could be at the heart of a lot of different ecosystems. And that people will see more and more and say like, oh yeah, well, the SwissBorg token gives you these governance rights, gives you premium rights, but is the one that links and thanks to their protocol enables people to essentially buy into these different thematics. We have already talked with different institutions that are promoting these different certificates on an institutional level that want to include as well the CHSB. And if we start picturing the CHSB in all of these different bundles of future ETFs and others, this is for us a unique moment for the layer 4 to shine and to be part of the winning tokens regarding the DeFi and the CeFi world and merging those beautiful worlds together thanks to our CHSB. And that's for that very much reason that I'm very bullish about the future of CHSB. HedgeFarm launch is happening tomorrow. This is great news. It's going to be an absolute return DeFi strategies that will be offered to its community through different vaults that will have different strategies of DeFi, multi-chain, and have some quantitative strategies to it. So it's a really nice hybrid model of how to bring new vaults that could achieve, great performances within ranging markets, within bearish markets, and within essentially bullish markets. So something that has a really, really good way of providing optimal performance regardless of market conditions. So this is very, very interesting. There's been a lot of people working in this project for now roughly a year or so. The great thing is that this is going to be done on Avalanche and Ethereum, but as well on Solana. There's already been grants that has been given to this team. A lot of people are looking this very seriously as we talk. There's no token launch yet. But obviously this will be happening in the future too. So I wish you guys a very successful launch. SwissBorg for this, well, we have been pushing this project a lot. There's a lot of people that have worked with us for a long time. For people who are interested, just check out HedgeFarm directly on the Twitter channel. If not, we'll be bringing this obviously in the app through the earn perspective going forward and have different risk vaults that will be customized for your grade. So looking forward to this. And again, congratulations. The Smart Cafe is happening tonight with Aurélien, and there'll be more things going. I think so. There was another talk with Paola as well that happened yesterday or 2 days ago, a video which was very interesting. So please check out for more information there. CHSB Data, nothing great, nothing too good. Only 225 premiums, new guys that have added. Unfortunately, that is only half of what we should be getting. So please try to spread out the love. Talk to your friends around and try to bring more love, which brings us to the community index. And I'm not going to go too much on this one. I'm just going to talk about the fact that it's a really bad one. 3.5 is very disappointing. And it's disappointing by the fact that it should be the time where we're smiling and we're the happiest with all the great news that it is. Unfortunately, the CHSB traction is not yet there. The app activity is not good either. Fortunately, social media, I don't know if the video last week was not good or for other reasons, but there's less people bringing some us love. CHSB holders have increased a bit, which is good. Invitations, unfortunately, not. I couldn't be more bullish on CHSB. I could be more bullish on SwissBorg, and I couldn't be more bullish on crypto and blockchain. The beauty that you have from this top down to the bottom up approach as the top down is that, of course, we're working so hard, us and you, to have that vision. But that's the beauty in it. What I always see is that, in order to, learn and get to be where you want to be, you need to work really hard on doing that, right? And unfortunately, you'll have to enjoy those times that are very tricky. And I really want to thank you guys to understand that these are days with full opportunities. Again, this new thematic, the Web3, I want to hear your comments. I want to hear why you like it. I want to hear what you want to see more into it and how we could bring the next billion people into these different thematics. As always, guys, be healthy, be wealthy, and love our CHSB. Take care, guys. Bye.
Through SwissBorg, all assets will have a fiat gateway. And here is the thing.
Premium features gives you zero fee trading.
It's an amazing fiat gateway.
For some, love is a strong feeling. What if you could send it in from point A to point B? Zero borders, zero time, zero fees. For us, love is sending crypto. Just send it. Now with SmartSend. Engineered in Switzerland by SwissBorg.